I'm going to give away one of the dirtiest secrets of the real estate industry that realtors don't want you to know. I'm giving it away right now. Hey everybody, Alex Brackey here with the Valor Group. My background is not in real estate. I wasn't born a salesman. I actually come from a policing background. And so because of that, you know, maybe I'm crazy, but I kind of like to expose the dirty laundry of the real estate industry. One of the things that I have found, and I've been doing this now for over a decade, I've found that a lot of real estate agents, when they go to market a property, many real estate agents were taught, whether they got into the industry 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, it doesn't matter. They were all taught the same way of doing business. And that is, like, if you take a listing, this actually breaks down to about 92% of real estate agents market a home effectively the exact same way. Now, I mean, I'm probably going to get some hate mail from my colleagues because I'm exposing some of the stuff they don't want you to know. But you know what? That's just the way it goes. About 92% of real estate agents, the marketing that they offer is as follows. They will put a sign in your yard. They will take pretty pictures and they will put them in a database that real estate agents we call the MLS, Multiple Listing Service. The only thing that has really changed is that in that time, the MLS, this database, now automatically, without the real estate agent lifting a finger, that database automatically ports out to all of the third-party websites. These are the things like Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin. The real estate agent literally doesn't have to lift a finger. They don't do anything to make that happen, to appear on, you know, whatever they have in their listing presentation to you, their propaganda piece, that they're going to get you on 100 or 150 or 200 websites. Well, yeah, that's really easy. As soon as it goes in the MLS, it happens automatically. 92% of real estate agents stop there. The problem is that that's super passive. You're waiting on home buyers to hopefully find you. And if you live in a big city, in Washington, D.C. or Chicago or New York or wherever, maybe that works because the way that buyers shop for homes, they search by city name. The problem comes in that if you're not in one of those the biggest dots on the map, you may be losing. Because if they're not searching for, if you live in an outlying suburb in the DC area, I would say something like Ashburn or Winchester, right? Chicago, I'm thinking like Elgin, Huntley. If you don't live in one of the biggest dots on the map, they don't know to type in your city's name. And so you're missing a giant swath of the home buyers if that's all you're relying on. And again, guys, the scary thing is that this is 92% of real estate agents rely on this ultra passive strategy of marketing. I call this of course marketing. Like, of course you're going to do that. Of course you're going to take pretty pictures. Of course you're going to put it in the MLS. Like that's not hard. Anybody can do that. That's not difficult. Now there is a second tier, and there's a total of really three here. The second tier, this encompasses about 7.5% of agents by my estimate. This is what I call the seasoned agents or the seasoned pro model. So they're definitely going to do the of course marketing. That's, you know, any monkey with a computer can do that. They're going to do the of course marketing, but they add on one more layer, and that's the agent relationships that they've developed over having been in the industry for 7, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And so they're going to, you know, use that ultra passive strategy, hoping folks find you, stumble across your listing, but they're also then going to maybe leverage some of the agent relationships that they have personally. And so again, that is definitely better. That is notably better than the 92% who simply rely on the of course. But it's not the best because here's the thing. As a real estate agent, as a human being, I can only have so many relationships. And so even that seasoned pro marketing strategy has a lot of limitations. You know, it may be true that the buyer for your home isn't working with one of the people I know, right? And maybe they didn't know to look at one of the smaller dots on the map because they just didn't know the name of the town. And so even that has a lot of limitations. If you're interviewing agents, what you're looking for is the third tier, which I say this encompasses probably less than 1% of real estate agents. And this is the elite level marketing. So yes, we're going to do the of course marketing. Yes, you know, again, I've been in the industry now over a decade. I have relationships that I can leverage. That's easy. We have systems and processes built on top of that, specific strategies that we use. How do we roll out a listing? How do we get people interested in a listing before we ever go in the MLS? This is really critical because there's ways that you have to do this to stay within the rules of the MLS and the associations and all these red tape hoops that real estate agents have to jump through. If you're not leveraging those, at least in our area that's so transient, the Washington, D.C. region, people are constantly transferring in. I believe we're missing 40 to 60% of the buying public. Price is determined by demand. And if we are leaving 40 to 60% of our demand out of the equation, it is simply not logical. It is not possible for the consumer to wind up getting the highest price possible when they sell a house, period. If you are only one of the 92% or the 7.5% that are doing, of course, marketing or, of course, agent relationships, the truth of the matter is that the real estate agents are not giving the best service possible to their clients. They are leaving a massive chunk of demand out of the equation. And so when folks use the elite level marketing, that's why we're selling homes for so much more, typically, than many of our colleagues. It's really simple. It's because we're adding in more demand. Now, this also plays out when when real estate agents work with buyer clients. Because again, I would say that the numbers are even more skewed here, that probably 96% or more of agents are simply relying on the automated drips that they can search with certain parameters and the type of home and neighborhood that you're looking for. And then automatically these drips go out into your email inbox when a new property hits the market. I think that real estate agents have been wildly underserving the consumer public for a long time. And really, we need to be leveling up the industry. And I think we can only do that. And this is why I'm sharing this with you and, showing some of the dirty laundry of the industry. That the profession can only improve if people understand what the problem is. And this is one of the problems, is that real estate agents in many instances have become too passive. We have a system. I've done it over and over and over where we have identified a likely seller before they've ever begun the conversation with a listing agent. And we have actually intercepted that and worked out a deal in advance. The house never went on the MLS and the buyer never had to compete and the seller never had to put up with 300 showings and 7 open houses, right? It's a win-win for both sides if you know how to do it. So guys, if you're interviewing agents, whether you're interviewing here in the DC region, we'd love to have the interview and have the chance to earn your trust in your business. But even if it's not here, if it's somewhere else and you're watching from Chicago or Seattle or San Diego or wherever you're at, please ask these questions. Understand, try to break through some of that polished noise. And if all they're doing is super passive strategy, you deserve better. And there are agents out there that can help you achieve better, and you're going to wind up with better results, a less stressful process, and just simply more joy through it. And so guys, that's what this is all about. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. Alex Brackey with the Valor Group. We'd love to serve you. Thanks so much.